Welcome back, everyone. As you can see, we are working on the platform for the plants that go onto the ceiling in the bathroom. And this is roughly what it should look like. The main struggle here is that I need to make it modular in the sense that there is not enough space in the bathroom to create the platform in one go there. So that's why I'm one floor up, assembling as much as I can to make sort of a little package that I can install once I'm in the bathroom down on the first floor again. At this point as well, I was thinking about painting the whole platform, as well as the insides. I was obviously going to do the outsides, but the insides as well. But then this is OSB3, so it should be for construction purposes and also moist resistant, which it's definitely gonna, it's definitely gonna get a little bit wet up there since the hot air rises. But it should be all good. One of the next things that I changed last minute was the height of some of the ribs. It was a challenge to make sure that you can't see the top of the platform from downstairs, but it needs to be strong enough to hold all the lamps and all the weight, because all the plants, because it needs to hold like 35 kilos of plants, which is about 75 pounds. And also it's going to be even more because there's going to be these glass lamps which also need to be up there. So the platform needs to be plenty strong to hold all these things, and the mounting plates on top of the ceiling need to hold all the weight as well. So it was quite a challenge to figure out what was strong enough. And thank you for all your concerns, but rest assured I tested these planks on the ceiling with my own weight, so I'm pretty sure it can hold some plants. So this is sort of what it would look like. Just these middle ribs were missing. So since this thing is way too big to assemble outside of the bathroom and then bring into the bathroom, I've made it like this. So I've basically prepped everything, and now it's taking this thing down to the bathroom and trying to assemble it there with our limited space. But let's give it a shot. It's always good to do a little test if everything is working the way you want it to be before assembling everything. So I try to test as many times as I can throughout the whole building process because, things go wrong. Luckily for me though, nothing did this time. So at this point it was just a matter of figuring out how to assemble everything because, as I said, we've got quite limited space here in the bathroom. I mean, obviously we've got a huge bathroom, but with the wall and everything, the shower, and this platform being this big, I cannot lay it flat on the floor, unfortunately. Since the paint is not a nice finish, what I'm gonna do is use wood filler and hopefully smooth out these, this texture that OSB has, and hopefully that way we'll create a sort of at least a smoother finish that is acceptable. Meanwhile, I'm doing the paint test downstairs, so I've painted this little test piece like 3 layers, and now I'm testing it by letting it sit in water for, I don't know, a couple hours, see if the paint releases from the OSB, stuff like that. So let's try to get this wood filler on and see if it makes a difference. And the wood filler is only just for the outside, because obviously the inside you can't see, so it's fine. Just the outside. Let's see if we can make it work. And then finally, with all the panels prepared, it was the moment we've all been anxiously waiting for. The assembly of this whole platform, which, in all fairness, went quite swimmingly, actually. So this is how I figured I would, assemble the whole platform, and it actually went the way I thought it would. So quite pleased with that. Everything fitted as I hoped it would. So the last things to finish this platform would be to make these little segments in between. As you can see, they're missing now. Need to make those, and obviously we drilled some holes and put in some screws, so we need some filler to fill that up again. But all in all, the holes lined up perfectly, well, basically perfectly. The offset of the wall is great, so I'm super pleased. So now that we've got this frame finished, we can take a look at our plants and how to mount them, because I've actually not figured that out yet. So here they are, some of our plants, and you can mount them like this. So the plan was to mount these plants on these frames, well, these sort of iron mesh thingies, and these get attached to the wooden frame that's on the ceiling. That's the idea, at least. Just trying to figure out now how I can make it in such a way that I can easily remove them if I need to be in that frame for whatever reason. Well, I'll think about it. I just bought more of them so we can also use them for our beans in our vegetable garden. But that's for another time. Lastly, I'm so sorry for the delay, but I need to thank some Patreons that have been with me for quite some time. The problem was, as you saw in the earlier episodes, the very first episodes, you've probably seen or remember the status of the kitchen, right? It is dark and humid, and that's why at some point my computer just crashed. It didn't start, no screen, nothing, it was dead. So unfortunately I had some delay because all the software for this CNC machine was on there. So I need to figure out a solution, but long story short, we're here and it works again. But we've got quite some catching up to do, so here we go. So I want to thank the following YouTube members and or Patreons for keeping this project alive. It really helps a lot, so thank you so much, and your place on the stairwell is well earned. As always, sorry for butchering your names, but nonetheless, here we go. Thank you Marina Solberg, Peace on Earth, Shaco, Lito Thompson, Beverly Richmond. We've got Mike, who is doing a similar project in Australia. Hope everything is well there, Mike. We've got Deborah Burgess, and lastly, thank you Dinosaurs for your continued support. So thanks again to all the people that have supported me. There's not a day that goes by without me not seeing your names on the stairwell. Thanks again, and see you soon. Ciao ciao.